The CEO of UnitedHealthcare was in broad daylight this morning in Midtown Manhattan, and the general response was, meh. If you'd like to know why, remember he's the CEO of a multi-billion-dollar company famous for denying healthcare to millions of Americans at alarming rates. In fact, UnitedHealthcare leads the industry in claim denials. Meanwhile, execs, they rake in squillions. The previous CEO left with a compensation of $140 million a year, the highest executive package in United's home state of Minnesota. The company is estimated to be worth over $325 billion, but as article after article after article shows, they nickel and dime like Scrooge McDuck. The company polices mental health care with arbitrary thresholds and cost-driven targets using what's been deemed an illegal software algorithm. They've been investigated by the Department of Justice for antitrust issues and knowingly ignoring information about beneficiaries' medical conditions. This helped them inflate payments to themselves on the order of $1 billion in 2017 alone. Billing irregularities extracted at least an extra $3.7 billion from Medicare. Way back in 2008, UnitedHealth was found to be manipulating data to increase premiums for consumers as well. But I want to highlight one case in particular, that of Christopher McNaughton, to show just how awful an organization this is and how deep the rot lies. Chris was a student at Penn State, one of United's big educational accounts. They love these because a lot of relatively healthy kids who will never make claims are paying big bucks. Chris, unfortunately, developed a crippling case of ulcerative colitis. His medical bills were running nearly $2 million a year. Quote, United had flagged McNaughton's case as a high-dollar account, and the company was reviewing whether it needed to keep paying for the expensive cocktail of drugs crafted by a Mayo Clinic specialist that had brought McNaughton's disease under control after he'd been through years of misery. Note, they could pay his bills easily with just a few minutes worth of revenue. To cut a very, very, very long story short, United agreed to pay, then refused to pay, then agreed to pay, then refused to pay over and over again. Eventually, Chris and his family brought this to court, where the insurer's hidden procedures for rejecting claims finally came to light. Quote, court records show United inaccurately reported to Penn State and the family that McNaughton's doctor had agreed to lower the dose of his medication, end quote. The doctor, in fact, said the exact opposite. Quote, another time a doctor paid by United concluded that denying payments could put his health at risk, but that report was buried and was not considered in the findings. The insurer did, however, consider a report submitted by the company doctor who rubber-stamped the recommendation of a United nurse to reject paying for the treatment, end quote. By the way, that was the same nurse who lied about what Chris's doctor said. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Eat the rich.